More than 400 million tons of plastic is produced every year worldwide, half of which is designed to be used only once, and of that, less than 10% is recycled. An estimated 19 to 23 million tons end up in lakes, rivers and seas annually. That is approximately the weight of 2,200 Eiffel Towers altogether. Microplastics, tiny plastic particles, find their way into food, water and air. It is estimated that each person on the planet consumes more than 50,000 plastic particles per year, and many more if inhalation is considered. Plastic is predominantly produced from oil and gas, both of which are fossil fuels. The more plastic is produced, the more fossil fuel is required, and the more the climate crisis is intensified. Plastic products are said to also create greenhouse gas emissions across their whole life cycle. If no action is taken, greenhouse gas emissions caused by plastic could account for 19% of the Paris Agreement's total allowable emissions by 2040 to limit warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius. The focus of this episode of the program is Beat Plastic Pollution. This is the theme for the 2023 World Environment Day commemoration. I'm Onengiye Fineface, and this is Environment Matters.
Plastic has been a solution. It has given us convenience, affordability, utility. However, the durability of plastic is both its benefit and its curse. Plastic pollution endures. It's suffocating our planet. We have seen solutions that work, rejecting single-use plastics, creating circular and sustainable alternatives, managing plastic waste more efficiently. Together, let's create systems to better reuse, reduce, and recycle. Let's push for an ambitious global agreement to end plastic pollution. Let's demand governments and businesses act, commit, and set new standards. Use your voice and your choice to beat plastic pollution. Let's do better.
It is common to see Nigerians attempt to turn the plastic pollution crisis into opportunity for wealth creation. And we'll begin this episode of the program by looking at how a young man in Nigeria's capital city is making a living out of the plastic menace.
When we get the plastics to the factory where the whole process is taking place, we sort them. Then the sorting is, we sort different colors, unique ones, we keep them aside. Then the ones that we want to use, we keep them aside. Then the odd ones, we just keep everything aside. So we are taking all plastics from wherever we are getting it. We are not segregating that we don't want this one or we want this one. We are just taking all to the side. So when we get to the side, we sort them and categorize them in different colors. So the sorting now, we remove the labels and the caps to make it pure, for us to get what we want to use it for. So we cannot process it with the labels and the cap on it. So that's what we do. Then after we sort, we move them from the sorting ground to where the production takes place. So in the production side now, we now crush what we've sorted. This is how the product looks like, getting it from either the scavengers, the restaurants, or household where we are getting the plastics. So when we get them, we bring them to the factory for proper sorting and categorizing for our use. So what we mean by sorting is this. We remove the labels, then take off the caps. So this product now is ready for shredding.
Clement relies on the support and services of scavengers who source the plastic bottles from waste bins and dump sites. They sell to plants like this, where the plastics are sorted, cleaned and processed into pellets for sale to recycling companies for the production of other plastic products.
Whatever we scale will be multiplied by the amount we buy per kg. Then we know how much we are going to give to the scavenger. He is not the only one bringing to us. So many of them, they are bringing to us for the work. We don't have any alternative planet or a backup planet. This is the only planet we have. So we all need to put our hands together to make it safe for us. Now, taking all these plastics off the environment, it prevents so many things from the environment, like flood. When you go out, you see plastics all over the environment, littered waterways and all of that, going to the oceans, and you don't know how those plastics get there, but they just find their way there. And when these plastics go to the ocean or the water, we have aquatic animals there that we consume them. Particles of this plastic will be eaten by those fishes and others. So then when we consume them, we are harming ourselves indirectly. We know we are eating fish, but we don't know the content, what has that fish eaten or not. So we doing recycling or going into recycling business, we are helping the environment, providing jobs for the youth, and then making money from what we consider as waste outside there. So the issue of recycling, it should be everybody's responsibility. Taken from house, schools, market, shops, restaurants, and everybody should be involved in this, our plastics recycling business.
This practice is not without challenges. Registrar, Environmental Health Council of Nigeria, Muhammad Baba Yakubu, tells me that the method of plastic waste collection by scavengers exposes them to severe health risks and further impacts the environment.
That it is misnomer for the waste to come in a large volume mixed with the healthcare waste, the plastic waste, the bottles, and this is why also the scavengers are at risk. In a conventional process of waste management, segregation is supposed to start from the point of generation, where at the household you see the application of what we call the color coding, where the sharps and the hazardous wastes are going to be placed in separate dustbin. Domestic wastes will be put in separate dustbins. Then these bottles and plastics will be in separate dustbin. The advantage of the segregation at the point of generation provide avenue whereby the issue of recycling will be very easy, because everybody will come and pick according to the need and according to the value. But unfortunately, in the Nigerian scenario, more especially Abuja 2 inclusive, you see a situation whereby the household is having only one dustbin. At the dump site, you see also the unhygienic way, because most of these scavengers, when you look at the way they dressed, They don't really put the necessary personal protective equipment. And all of them want to make and earn a living on that process. So you see, they will be using sometimes bare hand to sort out what they need, like the aluminum, the plastics, and the bottles. Most of these scavengers, after engaging in this scavenging business, within 6 months to 8 months, they develop some terminal illnesses that we believe is associated with the risks involved in this scavenging process. So it's a good idea, it has economic value, but we need to think and be doing it in a conventional way that it will, one, safeguard the issue of scavenging at the dump site, and also provide opportunity for value for money.
There's more than one way to dance. There's more than one way to beat plastic pollution.
So you can use incentives and taxes to encourage better waste management. You can invest in reuse and recycling practices. You can run education programs. You can adopt bans. And on the world stage, you can engage in legally binding global agreements to end plastic pollution and to drive us towards a circular economy. There's more than one way to beat plastic pollution.
For more solutions, check out United Nations Environment Programme's guide on how to beat plastic pollution.
Harmony of biodiversity destroyed, birthing climate crisis and crying faces.
Dicey situation indeed, yet we carry on like a bull in a china shop.
On environment matters, we take the bull by the horns, comb the nooks and cranny of Nigeria.
Asking tough questions.
Examining challenges and opportunities.
Giving human face to the science, facts, faiths and global agreements. It's a call for action. Don't miss it.
Join award-winning environmental journalist Jennifer Igwe and other NTA Eco reporters for Environment Matters.
The United Nations Environment Programme, UNEP, notes that a shift to a circular economy can reduce the volume of plastics entering oceans by over 80% by 2040, reduce virgin plastic production by 55%, save governments $70 billion by 2040, reduce greenhouse gas emissions by 25% and create 700,000 additional jobs, mainly in developing countries.
This World Environment Day is a call to beat plastic pollution. Every year, over 400 million tons of plastic is produced worldwide, 1/3 of which is used just once. Every day, the equivalent of over 2,000 garbage trucks full of plastic is dumped into our oceans, rivers and lakes. The consequences are catastrophic. Microplastics find their way into the food we eat, the water we drink and the air we breathe. Plastic is made from fossil fuels. The more plastic we produce, the more fossil fuel we burn, and the worse we make the climate crisis. But we have solutions. Last year, the global community began negotiating a legally binding agreement to end plastic pollution. This is a promising first step, but we need all hands on deck.
We want Global Plastics Treaty!
A new report by the UN Environment Programme shows that we can reduce plastic pollution by 80% by 2040 if we act now to reuse, recycle, reorient and diversify away from plastics. We must work as one, governments, companies and consumers alike, to break our addiction to plastics, champion zero waste and build a truly circular economy. Together, let us share a cleaner, healthier and more sustainable future for all.
On this World Environment Day, we are calling on everyone to help beat plastic pollution. Why, you might ask? Well, because plastic pollution is choking our ecosystems, warming our climate, and very likely damaging our health. Recycling is not the sole solution, nor the magic bullet. Our system simply can't cope. Change has to happen across the whole life cycle of plastics. We must refuse unnecessary single-use items. We must redesign products and packaging to use less plastic. We must reuse, recycle, and reorient and diversify our systems. This is how we keep plastic out of the ecosystems and in the economy. Everyone must play their part. Governments can deliver a strong outcome on the deal to end plastic pollution, which is currently under negotiation. And businesses can adopt a life cycle approach. And the financial sector can put its capital right behind this very transformation that we need to see. And we, citizens, we can use our voices, our votes, and our wallets to drive change. My thanks to Côte d'Ivoire for showing their commitment to beating plastic pollution by hosting this, the 2023 World Environment Day. Now I ask that you join this global movement and help us beat plastic pollution once and for all.
Curious about how government policies on healthcare are faring? Do you enjoy learning about wellness concept and the many options available? Then watch Health Options on the NTA.
Mr. President has led by example. Take the COVID-19 vaccine.
Somebody can say, hey, I woke up this morning, I felt some tingling in my hand, some weakness, my face I couldn't speak well. That's a warning stroke, and it shouldn't be ignored.
The carrots contains carotene. Tomatoes is a colored plant. It has carotene. Pepper has carotene.
50% of our diet should be green vegetables and fruits.
Join leading experts on both orthodox and alternative medicine for all the enlightenment you need for a healthier you.
Thanks for joining us on the program. I am Rabi Abdullah.
World Environment Day 2023 commemoration by the United Nations is hosted by Côte d'Ivoire in partnership with the Netherlands. The 2023 campaign, Beat Plastic Pollution, focuses on solutions to plastic pollution. It highlights regional and international policies, technologies and innovations that provide real, lasting solutions to this global problem, especially those that promote a just transition to a plastic circular economy.
Plastics have undoubtedly revolutionized our lives. Numerous benefits to society, advancements in healthcare, construction, packaging, energy, transportation, agriculture, textiles. However, we must confront the harsh reality that our planet is drowning in plastic waste from, as some have said, the highest heights to the deepest depths. Plastic pollution poses a grave threat to both people and the planet as it exacerbates climate change, biodiversity loss, pollution and waste, and affects human health adversely. UNEP has been against plastic pollution, and the UN Environment Assembly last year witnessed a moment when heads of states, ministers of environment and other representatives from UN member states endorsed a resolution to end plastic pollution. The resolution established an intergovernmental negotiating committee which began its work in 2022 with the ambition of a globally legally binding agreement by the end of 2024. Ladies and gentlemen, in fact, World Environment Day comes on the heels of the second session of the INC on plastic pollution, which concluded just last Friday in Paris, with a mandate to prepare a zero draft of the agreement ahead of the next session, due to take place in Nairobi, Kenya, in November. The UN Environmental Assembly resolution represents a historic moment for all of us, and the ongoing negotiations are very welcome. We need systemic change to effectively address the plastic pollution and to move ourselves from a linear plastic economy to a circular economy. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to keep my comments brief. So just to say that the World Environment Day is a reminder that people's action on plastic pollution matters.
I also welcome UNEA's agreement to create a science policy panel on chemicals and waste. another truly history-making move. I truly hope that it will be completed, it will be done, and it will be operational very soon. This platform will bridge the critical gap, enabling scientists and policymakers to inform each other on effective ways to manage chemicals and waste and prevent pollution, because preventing is always much more cheaper than mitigating the effects of the pollution that have taken place already. Importantly, it will complement existing science policy platforms on climate change and biodiversity at the IPCC, rounding out the scientific picture on all three aspects of triple planetary crisis. So what I'm trying to tell you is, we are still having a missing leg of the scientific support for the sustainability transformation. And I would like to see that science policy interface to up and running as soon as possible.
During the recent UN conferences, including the Ocean Conference and the Water Conference, many voluntary commitments were pledged with the shared goals of ending plastic pollution at local, regional, and global levels from both governments and other stakeholders. These commitments demonstrate a strong recognition of the urgency of addressing this planetary crisis and signify a step in the right direction towards a sustainable future. To tackle this challenge comprehensively, we need an all-hands-on-deck approach, as was mentioned by the Secretary General, and must collaborate across sectors and nations, addressing the full cycle of plastics from production to consumption and disposal. It is crucial to ensure that no country is left behind in the fight against plastic pollution. Financial support, capacity building, and technological assistance should be provided to developing countries to facilitate their transition from unsustainable patterns of consumption and production to circular economies that promotes reusability and reducing waste. Beating plastic pollution is possible, and I hope that we can all come together to transition to a lifestyle approach to ending plastic pollution.
Harmony of biodiversity destroyed, birthing climate crisis and crying faces.
Dicey situation indeed, yet we carry on like a bull in a china shop.
On Environment Matters, we take the bull by the horns, comb the nooks and cranny of Nigeria.
Asking tough questions.
Examining challenges and opportunities.
Giving human face to the science, facts, feats, and global agreements. It's a call for action. Don't miss it.
Join award-winning environmental journalist Jennifer Igwe and other NTA Eco reporters for Environment Matters.
The event highlights the importance of working together for collective, transformative action to beat plastic pollution. Member states and stakeholders in this context have an opportunity to share what transformative changes their countries are enabling through collective action on plastic pollution. And that's it on this episode of the program. My name is Onengiye Fineface. Join us next time on another interesting episode of Environment Matters. Bye for now.